Hello again, VOTOMS collectors. So I picked up some of these like gashapon looking things, and there's two different sets. The blue one is the first series. They're called Blue Knight Berserga Story. That was a video game for VOTOMS, and one coined figure series made by Kotobukiya. They make a lot of different Japanese franchise toys. It says only 500 yen, which is way less than $5 in today's money. And there's a secret, looks like a scope dog. These 5, which don't look like a scope dog. So I think there's actually 6 castings, because here's an image I found online. So there's 6 different castings, but there's 2 color variations. There's a clean version and a dirty version. That I think is the only difference. Alright, so let's take a look here. I'm curious if there's a date on this thing, you know. I like to know how old my toys are to kind of help set a value on things, but I'm not seeing it immediately. Maybe it's there, but I don't see it. Please leave a comment if you saw a date. So they're blind boxes, I'm gonna guess, right? And they come in this baggie, so this must be pretty new. Although again, I don't know when it was actually sold. I guess you just find out online, but too late now. I already started the video. So, what is this thing? This is a VATM-03. Let me look that up. I am mistaken. That BATM is for the fatty here. I should have known that because I reviewed a bunch of fatties. That one's got a machine gun sticking out the front of it. Interesting. This is called a shadow flare. It's just I can't read Japanese. But I did find here on MAHQ a shadow flare. There's a sketch of it. It just says it's piloted by Chris Kurtz. And that's it. I don't know how big it is, how heavy it is, how tall it's supposed to be. I don't think these are 1/48 scale. They seem a little bit smaller, but I'll compare it to some later on. So let's just take a look here. Alright, so the thing is PVC vinyl, I'm guessing, just by the softness of things. Like that's kind of soft. You can they just have a way about them, you know, the roughness of them, because it came out, I don't know what kind of mold they use, but it's not a hard mold like a hard plastic would use. So it have imperfections, but seeing how these are walking battle tanks, I don't really mind, you know. I think this is the weathered weathered version. It looks like there's a paint wash there, you know, like a bunch of brown dirty paint wash. So it looks like there's a bunch of moving wheels, you know, so that's how it glides along the ground. And it's definitely this is the dirty version. I don't think this comes, well, this pivots, but it's probably like a ball peg up in there, but I'm not going to pull on it too much. So you can obviously rotate that around. The leg doesn't seem to move otherwise though. These armor plates here I think might be pegged in or glued in, both. And it's nice to see that there's air passing below this handle here. And what about the head? Well, sadly that doesn't even spin. You'd think that would spin. What about this rocket launcher? No, I don't think that spins either. It doesn't look round. Okay, well, nice details molded all around. It's generally the case with a lot of these vinyl figures. They have a lot of good detail considering they're an inferior material compared to ABS plastic or styrene for getting tight panel lines and stuff. But see, look at all the pock marks and stuff. Alright, well, let's see, what is this thing here? This looks like an arm maybe, or no, there's a T-shape here and there's a T-shape here. It's just like a pivoting thruster, I guess, in the video game. Then we have this arm with a cool claw on it. Does that articulate? No, it does not. Does this come off? No. No movement. And like this weird, I don't know what that would be. It doesn't seem like it would be an armor plate, because why would it be just horizontal? And then the fist doesn't move either. So this is like gunmetal, but the rest is generally just black, and it's got you know, the paint wash to make it look dirty. So I have to assume it's this side of the robot. No, maybe not. I mean, the thumb is here, so I'm assuming this has to be the left arm, but look at this peg hole, and look at this peg. I feel like this peg is way too big. let's see what happens with the other arm. Nope, that's just as huge as well. Oh, I think, well, let's continue looking at this before. So this is a crazy, like, bazooka looking thing. It's a little bit of a recess up front. Maybe it has 2 shells or something. It's all molded in as one, it seems, but the hand is gunmetal. Well, the fingers are gunmetal, but the rest is black, again, with the dirty paint wash. I think the bazooka is a gunmetal as well, but the arm is black. Oops, black and a little gunmetal for the elbow area. Looks like some pistons in there. Alright, so what I was going to say is I think there's actually a flare here. So, excuse me, it's got to actually pass through this hole and like pop past that. So, I guess it won't fall apart later on, but look at this thing. Oh, well, nice. This hand does actually move, so that's nice. But maybe it's got that same popping thing, so I'm just going to try to force this past this hole here. Oh boy. Come on. I am applying an amazing amount of force. So much that I'm kind of worried of breaking that peg. Alright, but that's what it is. So it got past that, and I don't think it's really ever meant to come out again unless you apply an equal amount of force. Oh, I'm now noticing there's a tiny red dot there. Alright, so it goes over the shoulder very well. This little wing armor plate is much better than the other side. So yeah, I gotta get this thing jammed in there. Oh, but there's an antenna piece here. Glue that in place. I have a feeling it's going to fall out pretty easily if I fondle this again. I don't even know if that's in the right location. This thing is in the way. I don't want to rotate it. There's definitely a shape to it. It's not just round. There's like one side that looks like a added material. Just looking at that. But the hole looks like it's a square. So maybe, looking at that again, that's a square. I think I want to try to put it in like this, at a standard scope dot kind of angle. Yeah, okay, that's the way to go. Alright, boy, this is going to be a challenge again. Ready? Look at that. I mean, seriously, there's a big difference in size. I suppose if you put oil on that, that might help, but... Okay, that actually wasn't as bad as the first one. Oh, but now this thing fell off. So yeah, some parts you might want to glue in place. Yeah, I'll glue that later. So this is weird. Maybe there's something stuck here. Because if this... There's a joint right here, right? So maybe this is just stuck paint, but... Oh, there it is. It just broke. I wonder if the hand is stuck. I don't know. Alright, well, at least it broke that. Oh, now you can see here, but now this thing came loose. Yeah, that one has a definite, like, step to it. Try to keep it in place. So annoying. I'm gonna glue this on, hold on. Alright, crazy glued that in place. Trying to see roughly how tall this is. I guess we'll have to count maybe the head would be the logical thing to measure too. If you look at it, I would say it's around 7.5 centimeters, a little bit in between. Let me just put it this way. Now I would say it's around 7.5 centimeters tall, or a little under 3 inches, somewhere in the 3-inch range. So it's definitely smaller than 1/48 scale, I think. Alright, well, anyways. So this is wave 2, and then you can see here on the back again, there's 6 castings, but there's a dirty and a clean version. Now I pretty much have all these other ones, except for this tan one and this green standing tortoise. The other ones all can be found by Bandai in their 1/48 scale super mini plot kits, which I've made a few of. Actually, I think I have made all of these, this, and this already. So if you want to look at my VOTOMS playlist, or Mecha playlist is in there. Alright, so these are figures that are not made by Minipla, so that's why I got them. So you'll see the price increase went up to 630 yen or 600 yen, but that's still probably $5 in today's money, maybe less. And it's volume 2, so we got 1, 2, and the secret again is that standing tortoise. I still don't see a date. 2006. Wait a sec, where's the blue one? Yeah, weird. The blue one has no date there. But clearly this yellow one came out in around December 2006. So this is older than that. Alright, well, these are pretty darn old. And actually I feel okay with paying the price that I paid now, because I don't have a time machine. Last time I checked. If I did, I won't be doing YouTube. Anyways. Alright, so what is this thing? I don't even know what it's called. It's a CATM-03 or 08. Let me see what that comes up with. Well, sadly, looking up both VOTOMS CATM-08 and 03, I think that is an 8, came up with no results. But I did find this webpage here, and it's calling it a Octoba, OCTBA, which I guess it looks kind of like an octopus, maybe? I have the clean and dirty version. I should. We'll find out. So nice cardboard to protect the stuff from breaking. These tiny antennae. Look at this. Yeah, that's really fragile stuff right there. What is this? Maybe an arm. What I'm liking about this one is all the printing I'm seeing. This Shadow Flare only has a red eye, the red on the gun, and a red on whatever that is. But otherwise, it doesn't have much color, you know, just some gray and gunmetal, or black and gunmetal. But this one, yeah, you can see all these cool little alien characters in yellow, little accent lines and stuff. And then it's got some deeply recessed gunmetal paint there. The elbows and the knees are gunmetal. And then you got the eyes, which have the green, yellow, and red optics, which are cool inside these silver rings. Some sort of thruster detail, maybe. I wonder if that moves. No? Oh, look at this. Now the legs on this thing move. So, again, now I gotta think maybe the paint was stuck. It looks like those legs can maybe move. I don't know. But this one clearly, they move, so that's more articulation. Not sure how this is supposed to move in the video game. I guess just thrusters, maybe. Doesn't look like there's any wheels here. Maybe these are hover thrusters there. Alright, so it's a very bulbous looking character, but I like it. It's a lot of thrusters all over. It actually looks more like a Gundam. A really weird Gundam. Alright, boy, what about this arm? So, probably doesn't pop out very easily based on the last one, but there's a little silver or gunmetal in that shoulder. This is a standard looking scope dog like shoulder. And then this hand thing, yeah, well, maybe that spins. I'm feeling some movement. Okay. This kneecap, I like how it's, you know, passing air around it. I've never seen this character before, that's why I got it, so it's quite interesting. It definitely looks kind of like an octopus head, you know? Alright, so now with this arm. So I don't know if which part spins. No, okay, this time it's in the forearm. It's not up there in the bicep. Or maybe both do, I don't know. Oh, they both do. Okay. So there's good articulation. You just gotta break the paint loose. And then, yeah, you see this little peg notch. Keep it from falling out. There's some black in the recess of this bazooka. I like this. Got the sight window, diffuser blades, and then this little hanging ring for being choppered into battle. Alright, let's, and yeah, some yellow printing on this side as well. And again, passing air. I think maybe this would be the way to put it in safely. up. Swivel this. Yeah, the bazooka will rest on the shoulder nicely. So this arm must maybe spin up here as well, but I gotta break the paint loose. Yeah, okay. And then the forearm as well. Up, there it goes. You can hear it snapping. So that's cool. Very neat. It's really pretty small. I gotta go back to this. I wonder if that, no, pivots, no. It's a mystery. But what are these two little things? And where would they go? I see here in the back of the head there's two holes. And I guess this tiny little thing there. I hope this isn't rigid plastic because it's going to snap pretty easily if that's the case. Oh boy, this is really... I'm scared to push this in. You know what? I'm going to loosen the holes here first. So the top one's loose now. Oh, I think there's a shape to the peg. I think there's a D shape. No, it's just weirdly molded. Yeah, I think you want to loosen the holes first, and then you can put them in. So that's a nice detail to an antennae there. Alright, Octoba. Too bad it's so small. Let's see about this one. Same box. Yep, it's just the weathered version. I kind of wish I bought the fatty now because I don't think it's the same fatty as the Actic Gear ones. I might have to buy that one later if I can find it. So the antennae again. Yeah, a little tape here. We don't need to talk about this again. We'll just put it together. Didn't compare them as far as the dirtiness goes. Just try to break loose the paint here. Get that there. Okay. Bicep, forearm. Okay. So this is just a closed fist, it seems. And then loosen up these holes here. Oh, see? Look at that. Oh, man. Loosen up, come on. Almost there. I guess that's good enough. Well, this one's going to be pointing down a little bit. I'm afraid to bend it back, it might break. Well. Man, this is really hard to do. Maybe tweezers would be advisable. It's just I didn't want to scratch the paint. But I think I'm going to have to, as that thing's going to break off. Seeing as a weathered model anyways. So just gently wiggle them in, and yeah, that one's a little messed up. Alright, so yeah, definitely clean versus dirty. The dirty's got, you know, like a dry brushing of silver, so it's like the steel got scratched up, and it Looks like it also has, you know, brown as well for dirtiness. Yeah, just look at the shoulder, how dirty it is. Yeah. Okay, well, that's those two guys. Let's see the last one in this set here. No. Oh, it's the Seeker one again. It's some sort of standing tortoise, I think. Oh, look at that. The leg's totally snapped off. I'm gonna have to drill a hole. What's difficult is this plate is in the way, unless I can break that loose. If I drill a hole, I can put a piece of copper in there and then in here and pretty much make a new peg. That's a real shame. Well, I'm wondering. I don't. This is clearly a separate piece, so I think the leg is supposed to articulate then a little bit. Yeah, this one does. It's almost better. Like, it would have been nice maybe if they disassembled these in the baggies, because obviously it's going to get crushed that way, right? Ah, it's too bad. Okay, well, this is the weathered version, as you can see. It's nicely weathered and all. This is all hollow here. Guess we can get a good look at this leg now. A little black in there, black back here. 3 drive wheels down there. A little grating as well. Ankle doesn't move or separate. This little armor plate is floating nicely. Seems to be a separate piece, but I'm gonna guess it's glued in place. Alright, going to the rest here. Yeah, nice dry brushing again. Oddly none there, but some here. Like rivet marks for the armor is nice. Some vents there. Vents in the side, black here for behind the arm. A little black detail there. Some panels, nuts, bolts, weathering, very good. And then this head, it's got 2 blues and a red optic. But oddly, unless it's really, oh, there we go. So yes, it can pivot, and it's got 2 silver roll cages. So very nice. This has also opening here as well, and it looks like it's been mangled to heck. So that's kind of neat. Oh, there's an antenna here. Maybe. Now, did I not see a tiny piece of cardboard? Yeah, it's still in the baggie. It's tiny. Well, maybe I can just pull it out. So again, this is gonna probably break pretty easily, but it's supposed to go up in that hole. Yeah, nice and tall. And there's a blue optic here, so that's kind of neat. I don't think that moves though. It looks like it's definitely part of that molding. Okay, so this arm, this one's got this not pauldron, it's just shoulder armor, but it's got like rivet marks, black paint in there. It's nice. Does this break loose? Yep. Alright. And then what about this hand? Yep, the hand breaks loose, although it's kind of colliding with the armor. Does the elbow bend, I wonder? Look at that. It does. It does. No, it doesn't. Okay, so I gotta glue that back in place too. Alright, but now you know. Don't try to bend the elbow. Alright. Let's pop this on here. Oh, that wasn't too painful. This side here, yeah, the hand, nice. This weapon is like a matte gray, got a bunch of rivets and this deflector plate. So maybe it's a rocket launcher, I'm not sure, or it looks, maybe it's a grenade launcher or something, a triple grenade launcher. Okay, break this loose. What about the hand? Yeah, it will break loose, but again, it's colliding with this time the forearm and that armor there, so. Alright, let's get that up in here. going all the way in. There it goes. Okay. So it's quite loose now. Wow, I'm really let down about this. Let me come back, see if I can fix this. Alright, so I did manage to peg it, but I crazy glued that leg in place. It's actually still setting right now. So that's the way it's going to pose all the time. And this website here is saying this is called the Rising Tortoise, ATH14-BTS. I did find another website about these octopus guys called Octoba. Not just Octoba, but unfortunately Octoba doesn't pull up any results either. So if you guys know the specs on these things, any one of these things, that would be nice to know. They're like, you know, to help figure out the scale, I guess, of them. Alright, let's close this window out, get these eyes spinning, and look at some active gear figures. So, man, not the most stable feet. Hold on, I gotta get this guy a little more stable. And this thing's gotta slow down. So it's nice that they can pose. This could pose a little bit. Alright, so here's a 1/48 scale standing tortoise or snapping turtle, I forget. I did 3D print this because it was lost. So we'll put this there. And then you can see, yeah, there's a bit of a size difference for sure. Maybe these are like 150 scale or something. Well, I see model kits of 160 scale, but I have a hard time thinking this is only 160 and that's 1/48. It's too big of a gap. Here's a scope dog, which is the smallest of the VOTOMS, I think. Sorry. And the smallest of the 1/48 scale is this thing called a Zwerg. I haven't bothered to paint this at all. But, so that kind of is why I decided to get these things, because they fit in with this work. And so, you know, only this one's kind of questionable because it's a direct relative to this. And then I'm going to build a model kit of the Shadow Flare, the Bandai one. So we'll see what difference there is with that whenever I get around to finishing that model kit or even starting it. So, if scale doesn't matter to you, though, I think these are fantastic little gashapons, shokugans, I don't know what the Japanese really call these things, but collectible pre-painted figurines. I guess they're not figurines because you can pose them a little bit. So, they're kind of like action figures. Alright. So, as I mentioned, I guess I'll probably get one of those fatties, even though it's going to be totally out of scale with these active gears. It's a totally different design, and I'll have to keep an eye out for that. These guys are alright, if you can pick them up for a decent price, of course. So they have limited functionality compared to an active gear, like the cockpits don't open, being the main one. But it's nice that they have some articulation versus none. I was expecting no articulation at all. So, and then the paint apps are pretty good. But naturally, these are some sensitive parts, these are the antennae. So be mindful of that. Alright, I'll see you guys in the next VOTOMS video.